We are live. We are live. We are live. Welcome to Thursday.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. It is another beautiful day here on the Gold Coast, and we are talking about, debt in business. Is it good or bad? I know we've got some definitive ideas on that one, so let's jump into that.
Yeah, well, a lot of people really get the shudders when they talk about debt, and I've got to say it excites me. But that's because I look at it differently, and I think that most people that have managed to accumulate wealth, reasonable wealth, serious wealth, have done that by leveraging resources, and that's exactly what debt is. It's a resource, because we talk about all the time. We've got two main resources. You've got time and you've got money. And, how can you leverage that time? Leveraging time in business, you can do that through employees. How can you leverage your financial resource if you've got a finite amount yourself, is by getting debt and then, using your own asset to get the debt. That's the first form of leverage. And then using that debt and leveraging that debt to go and grow your business.
So I know, we've done that over the years, and just something that comes to my mind, let's say we've got a business owner that's won a new tender, a contract to deliver a product or service, and then the business owner is going, oh, crikey, how am I going to do that? I need some more locations. I need to bring in more stock. I'll actually need more staff. Well, hey, a contract that's finalised and confirmed, business plan, cash flow forecast, go speak to some prospective lenders. There's an opportunity there to fulfill this contract well, maybe better than you perceive, because you can put more people on, you can get new locations, whether it's renting, leasing property, leasing equipment, and or acquiring new locations. That can be, so, a lot of business owners might think, oh, I can't go for that contract or the tender because I'm limited in how I can do this. Well, there's a great way to do it, and that's potentially through debt.
Well, through debt, and I think the biggest thing for most people, many people, is to get their head around that debt for the right reasons is a great tool.
Fantastic. Yeah.
It's a great tool. And so the common misconception is that all debt is bad. Not all debt is bad. No. Going and getting some debt to go and buy some dumbass thing that's not worth anything the next day, or is a deteriorating asset, that is not good. But to go and borrow, money, to go and get debt, to go and generate more income, more cash flow, is a fantastic resource. And so being able to distinguish between those two things. So if you're of the mindset that you go straight into thinking, oh, debt is bad, debt is risky, what if? Well, I know initially exactly what sort of person you are, because the way to mitigate risk is by having the information, by having everything, the forecast done out, having the experience and having things mapped out, and knowing, what we talk about. And so many of these is having your dashboard, your cash flow forecast, your business model, knowing your margins. See, so many people get fixated with the cost of that debt. They go, that's 9% instead of 4% or whatever, and that's just a rip-off. I'm not going to do that. But your opportunity cost of not going and doing that could be enormous.
Far greater.
Because how much margin are you making on whatever product or service you're going to go and do with that on that expansion? Are you going to make 25, 35, 55%, like whatever from that? And how many times can you turn that? Because remember that any debt is normally calculated on a per annum basis, on a yearly basis. So if I go and borrow $1, and that $1 can go and make me, say another 50 cents through my product or service. But if I can do that every month,
repeat that.
So if I do that 12 times in that year, so then that 50 cents becomes $6. Well, that $1 that I've got, that cost. So, you've got to really don't get caught. And this is where we talk about being a business owner versus just being an employee. Don't get caught in your personal circumstance, your personal financial circumstance trap, and take that that limited thinking into your business, because that is holding your business back.
Indeed. And as you say, like we spoke about this on a live earlier this week about the importance of the management dashboard that we've got. Now that gives you the metrics, it gives you the data, and you can't make great decisions without the data. So, you absolutely need to know the size of the opportunity, because whoever's going to lend you, invest in your business, for want of better, take the risk in your business, they need to know all these elements of your business, and you need to be able to clearly articulate where your business is going, where it is today, where it's going to go, and what the change is. I know when I used to do commercial and plant equipment lending all the time, one of the things we always looked at was, well, if you're going to buy that piece of equipment, what extra income is it going to generate? And therefore, where is our risk mitigated for lending you the money to buy that piece of equipment? So lenders look at that. So as you just said, you really need to look at what is the opportunity income and improvement to your business by going down the path of this debt. And if it's done well, that debt will be far surpassed by the income that you've got potential coming in and growth that's coming with your business. Yeah.
So and in summary, so one is need to be able to distinguish between good debt and bad debt. What am I going to go and spend? That borrowing that I'm going to get, where is it going to go, and how is it going to increase my income? You need to know what margins you've got in your business. So as you expand your business, what are the margins? What is the profitability that's going to come back through? And how, what's going to be left over from paying that debt back? Mitigate the risks. Like, okay, we're going to expand here. These are the contracts that we've got in place, or we know that the market size, the market opportunity, or we need to make sure that we're absolutely increasing the revenue here. So we need to put more people in, more sales, more marketing, to make sure that we continue to grow this business and the debt doesn't become a burden. Those are the ways that you mitigate risk. And when you can put those mechanisms in place, you don't need to worry about that. You take the risk out of it.
Exactly, and it takes the stress away from it. So I want to touch briefly on what you've spoken about as bad debt. So one of the things that comes to my mind is, the business is going well, and suddenly as a business owner, you go, oh, I love that new car. Let's go get that. Now that might be considered bad debt. Is the timing of it that it's a good thing? Because we know, the minute you drive that car out of the driveway of the dealership, the value's gone down. However, if it's a vehicle for your sales team who are going to be able to go further afield and bring income into the business, that's a great reason to go buy a vehicle in the business. So just want to give a little example there.
I think we probably all know what like dumb shit is. Like, if you're going to go and borrow a bunch of money to go and buy a watch, borrow a bunch of money to go and buy a sports car, that's dumb stuff. But I mean, ultimately, if you've got a business that's going out and creating cash flow and borrowing to put it into that, then that makes a whole lot of sense.
Perfect.
The same way that you would borrow to go and get an investment property to go out and rent. That's the same thing. Like, an investment property is a cash flow generator. A business should be a cash flow generator. If you've gone through with our programs, our Navigate Biz programs, our Biz Bootcamp, and you know how to structure and run a business profitably to the long term, then that's
ideal.
I would suggest that
that's a well-informed
good,
decision.
well-run business will generate the best profitability, the best cash flow of any investment you find.
Yeah, indeed. So I think we've covered that really well. Like, it's to the point. I think it's a topic that a lot of people don't really think about clearly, or they just have this blinker approach to, let's keep the cash in the bank account. Well, hey, that's not earning. That's earning you.
What are you going to do with it?
What are you going to do with it? How can you leverage that? Do you have assets in the business that you can, offer as security? And so there's just so many aspects to this that makes really good sense of going into debt for the business to build and scale and grow your business. That's what it's about.
You got to remember that the goal is to create and generate cash flow. The goal is not just to have a bunch of dumb money sitting there doing nothing. So what you want is a fresh flow. You think of it this way: if you've got if a river goes stagnant and you've got a lake, like if it stops flowing, the river stops flowing, that water there starts to get all moldy and shitty and
probably evaporates, goes down.
And that's what happens with your money. So what you want is the river to be flowing in nice, fresh flows of money coming through
Constantly.
each month or each week.
And it's moving the cogs in the
Yeah.
business. That's what it does, right? You think of it as creating electricity, like, water can create electricity. Consider that the fuel for your business is the cash flow.
Yep, absolutely.
That's building the cogs and pushing the cogs in your business. That's what it, you visualize that.
So get go and get your debt. Make sure that you've got a great credible business and a business plan and behind it, and you've got your risk mitigation in place, and then go and grow your business and start to create these big and fresh flows of cash coming through on a regular basis, and keep expanding that, because the cost of everything keeps expanding every year. Every year, you need to keep increasing that cash flow to keep pace with the deterioration of the value of your money.
Yeah, and we've already spoken about at length about increasing the price of your product and service. Be really clear about what the profitability is for your product, and be prepared to increase often, and even if it's a little bit often. Review it regularly. Don't just do this annually, because these things, the cost of living, as we've seen of rate, has escalated quickly. If you wait a year, you're going to be so far behind, and this is all part of improving your cash flow.
Absolutely. So we'll round it out there. Hey, before we go, make sure that you're signing up for our next Biz Boot Camp. Go and check that out on navigatebiz.com. If you're looking for help, assistance, mentoring in your business, Biz Boot Camp across a 56-day program, it's the best way to do that. On navigatebiz.com, go check that out. And we're also still on the search for our
YouTubers.
1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So please jump into YouTube. If you've already done that, please go and get your friends and family, anyone you know that's in business, to go and jump into YouTube and like and subscribe on there.
Lovely.
Great.
Have an awesome day.
Thanks,
See you
everybody.
next time.
Have a great day. See ya.